Good afternoon, Mr. Belinsky. It's good to see you here today. We've really enjoyed working with Jackie. She's a wonderful girl, and she puts her best foot forward all the time. I want you to know that 6 years ago, when she first qualified for special education, she qualified under three different categories. One of them was speech, one was English, and one was mathematics. All three of those things are things that she struggled with, and we've been working on those things with her over the last 6 years. Right now, Jackie's an 8th grader, and she's doing quite well in her classes. As a matter of fact, she demonstrates effective compensatory skills, and she's not behind her classes at all. Now, her MCA grades are what we looked at just recently. As you know, with MCA, she's tested every year. We test her in science and mathematics and in reading. And Jackie did very well in all three. She met criteria in all three of those categories. You probably realize that 3 years ago, she had done so well with her speech that the speech teacher told her that she no longer needed speech services. So that was not in her IEP any longer. Also, 2 years ago, mathematics scores went so high that we decided that she did not need the extra help with mathematics either, which just left her with her reading. Now, her last goal, and surprisingly, she only had one goal for this IEP, is that she was supposed to raise her Lexile level. Now, we've been looking at that goal and tracking it throughout the last year. Every 2 weeks we have her do some reading and we see what her Lexile level is, and I track that. Right now her Lexile level is at a 1125. Now if you look at the national statistics, 1125 would be on a person who is planning on going to college. That would be a 10th grade level, and of course she's in 8th grade. So we feel that she's more than met that goal and that she's doing very well. To show you some more data, if we look at her STAR testing we have twice a month, and each time we've given her a test, it's raised higher and higher. Right now, her STAR testing shows her in reading at an 876. And an 876 is actually quite high for her grade level, and far above most of the other students in her classroom. Now, we do know that her grades have been up. She's been getting all A's in her classes by doing teacher observations and also talking to the teacher in the classroom herself. We've noticed that she's done real well. She's doing well with her peers. There doesn't seem to be any type of struggling at all. So with all this different data that we've talked to you about, we feel that she no longer qualifies for special education. And that's one of the reasons we're meeting today, is so we can share this good news with you and let you know how well she's doing here in the classroom. Now, I know you might consider in your head, what is it that's going to happen to her now? You know, is she going to be dropped? Is she not going to be able to have any kind of services at all? Is she going to fall back into old patterns? We know that's not going to happen because of all of our observations with Jackie, she's always been very forthright and really worked hard in her classes. Now, do know that once she's dropped from the roles of special education, she still will qualify for transition services for up to a year. We'll be watching over her, making sure that things are going well and that she's not having difficulties. Also, her testing modifications can still continue. She can still be having small groups when she takes her testing, whether for the MCAs or other testing in the school. Through the data gathered from monitoring her goals, as I've shown you in the graphs that earlier, through observations that I've had in the classrooms with her, she's doing quite well socially. The teacher interviews also show her as someone who is very capable in the classroom and not behind her peers at all. She's progressed and surpassed her goals, and her fluency, which was the last concern, is far beyond what we ever expected she'd achieve. So, we don't think that she needs to be on a 504 plan. That plan could be installed if we thought she was having difficulties, but that is not something that we foresee in the future. I hope that you agree with us and that you'll see that she's the one who's really progressed and been driven to do well in the school. Average, that's pretty darn good. Thank you.